Noel Plum posted a very interesting video today. In it, he asked Thunderfoot to clarify to us, the viewers, what his endgame was. How he thought that what he was doing on this site would lead to a solution of the problem. Now, the problem, I assume, would be the relationship between Islam and the rest of the world, according to Thunderfoot, according to what Noel thinks Thunderfoot may be trying to achieve. And that's where I'm not entirely sure. I actually think, and call me a cynic, I think the actual problem that Thunderfoot is trying to solve is both a lot more trite and a lot more personal than the relationship between Islam and the rest of the world. And I arrive at that conclusion by seeing what's going on the Thunderfoot channel in the last few weeks, if not the last few months. Ever since basically Venom Fang X was forced off this site, Thunderfoot seems to have been at a complete loss as to what to do on this site and on his channel. He has pretty much abandoned his Why People Laugh at Creationists series, and he seems to be lacking any sort of inspiration in his other videos. Recently enough, he was actually reduced to posting a video in which he was lighting bottled farts. Now that is saying something, coming from a person who posted that brilliant series about why people laugh at creationists. And I think the problem that Thunderfoot is trying to solve is how to exit off this site as a person who has lost all inspiration, who is no longer able to come up with fresh new ideas, and how to exit off this site without people thinking he faded away. And the solution to this problem is to provoke a perceived enemy that he thinks is easy to provoke into attacking his channel with flagging and DMCAs. I don't think for a moment that Thunderfoot is at all worried about his personal safety. But his channel, he is hoping, actually hoping, I think, is going to be flagged and DMCA'd until it is suspended off this site. And then of course he can sit back and relax and watch the righteous indignation flood the YouTubes about the terrible thing that happened to this brave warrior called Thunderfoot, who was bullied off this site. And I must say that I find the responses coming from the Muslims on this site very encouraging indeed, because it doesn't look like many of them are actually taking the bait. There might be a number of them who are trolling the Thunderfoot channel, and that is quite understandable, but I hope that they have the wisdom not to go in and flag his channel or DMCA his videos, because I think that would be playing right into the man's hand. It would only serve to allow him to turn around in righteous indignation and beat himself on the chest and go like, look at how the nasty Muslims have attacked me off this site, and here I am, the great fighter for freedom of speech, and look at what they did to me to censor me. I would just leave the man to stew in his own juices and just sit back, relax, and watch him dig deeper and deeper and deeper into the hole he created for himself. That's what he deserves after the shenanigans that have been going on his channel in the last couple of weeks. Thunderfoot likes to portray himself as a courageous opponent to the censorship that Muslims want to impose on us. But how is he doing this? By standing up, beating his own drum, and basically using the bully boy tactic of saying, don't try to cross me in any which way because my stick is much bigger than your stick, and if you even touch me with your stick, I'm going to brain you with mine. How courageous is that? Not very courageous at all. The way to address these problems is by dialogue. Dialogue that may get quite heated, and dialogue in which we should not hold back and should not be afraid to speak our minds, but dialogue all the same. And courage is not to threaten somebody with the biggest stick. Courage is what happens when you stand up with your 2 plastic shopping bags and you stand in front of that tank, and you know that that tank can very easily flatten you. But you also know that that tank is going nowhere unless it flattens you.